Hi there, this is Penelope, and this is a short video on finding the inverse of a function. For example, f of x equals x plus 2 over x. What is the inverse of a function? Well, I guess you could say it's the reverse function. It basically undoes what the function did. So if your original function took x and gave you y, then the inverse takes y and gives you x. Now for this particular example, you need to remember or to realize that x can't equal 0 because it would make the function undefined, and I'm assuming that you know how to check for a one-to-one relationship. Okay, the first step is to rewrite this function using different notation. Now, you know that one of the ways we can write a function is to say that f of x equals y. So if we write y equals x plus 2 over x, then we have just a rewritten version, just using different notation. And just to check the diagram, the original one here will have an asymptote at 1. Can't take the value of that, so our graph would look like that and like that. More or less, that's just a rough sketch. But we can see from that that it is one-to-one, which is important shortly. So having recognised that x can't be 0, the second step is to replace the variables. So we've got y equals x plus 2 over x. The second step is to replace them with each other, to swap them over, to rewrite x equals y plus 2 over y. Now what we need to do is we need to rewrite this as y equals something or other. So just doing the algebra, xy equals y plus 2. Let's shift the y over. Xy minus y equals 2. Factorise, so we get y on its own. And then divide both sides by x minus 1. To write this as a function, we would use the f negative 1 notation. This is just notation. And we would say that 2 over x minus 1 is the inverse. Now, it can only be the inverse if it is one-to-one. Sorry, if it is a function itself. So if this is a function, then it's the inverse. And remember, I said on the previous slide that we were checking to see if it was one-to-one. If it was one-to-one, then we can see that the inverse would also be the same. So let's look at that. The graph of the inverse is going to look a bit like that. And again, that's a function. So we're good to be able to say that the inverse is 2 over x minus 1. That is the function that undoes the original function of f of x equals x plus 2 over x.